I've been looking for a fun project for my garage for quite a while now. Something that doesn't need to be rushed, but instead something I can slowly work on in the evenings and on weekends whenever I feel like it. Basically, I wanted a project that would respect my schedule and my laziness. So I started looking around. At first, it was just browsing listings, watching a few videos, and telling myself I wasn't in a hurry. But somehow, the deeper I went, the more serious it became. You know how it goes? Just looking slowly turns into saved ads, late-night scrolling, and suddenly you're mentally already halfway into a project you don't even own yet. Then I got a tip from a guy about an old Volvo sitting on a horse farm just outside of town. Apparently, it had been standing there for a while, slowly turning into part of the scenery. And of course, that immediately got my attention. I had to check if it was actually true. You know how these things go, sometimes a perfect project car turns out to be nothing more than a myth told over coffee. So I decided I needed to see it with my own eyes. And it turned out to be true. The Volvo was exactly where my friend said it would be, parked behind a horse wagon on a farm just outside of town. At that point, I started wondering if this was a car or just part of the farm's long-term decoration plan. It had already been started as a project, but it was clear it had been sitting there for quite a while. A few panels were missing, apparently as part of a future design vision for the front end. The engine had been gone for a long time, which is usually a good sign, depending on how optimistic you are. But honestly, I liked it, maybe even a bit too much. It had that perfect mix of this could be amazing and what have I gotten myself into. And I may or may not have felt a little sorry for it, just sitting there in the countryside, waiting for someone slightly irresponsible enough to give it a second chance. After a short chat with the owner, we agreed on a price. A few days later, I went back to pick her up and bring her home. I was unbelievably happy and slightly concerned for my own mental health at the same time. Happy because I had finally found the project I'd been searching for, and concerned because I had just voluntarily adopted a very old Swedish car with unknown life choices and a questionable future. She wasn't perfect, she wasn't complete, but she had personality and probably more problems than I had initially budgeted for. But hey, maybe this just means a bit less time in front of the TV, or at least that's what I keep telling myself. The plan is simple: slowly bring it back to life, one evening at a time for the next few years, maybe decades. Worst case scenario, I'll end up with an expensive garden ornament. Best case scenario, I'll have a really cool Volvo. I'm honestly not sure which one is more likely yet. Either way, it's staying in the garage now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode of Why Do I Do This to Myself?